Either you get a winning score, or I retire. That was what Hakuho allegedly told Enho last year, one of several revelations to come out of Fuji TV's Junk Sports Sumo special on Sunday evening. Here's a review of what we learned. The first thing was that Tokushoryu never figured in the show's plans when original invites were sent. Enho and Kagayaki were courted as Team Kanazawa. Takakeisho and Daieisho, same as last year, joined as Team Saitama Sakae. Shodai and Shohozan guested as Team Kyushu, while Toyonoshima retained his place as resident comedian, amusing the audience with yet another impression of Hakuho. However, man of the moment Tokushoryu did have his part deservedly written in at the last minute, and some video interviews were hastily shot. As the show is hosted by comedian Masatoshi Hamada, the wrestlers are allowed to speak frankly and humorously about tournament events. Hence, we got our wonderful alternative take on the dramatic events 2 weeks ago, which saw Tokushoryu crowned champion. Shodai revealed that prior to his final day tussle, mouthing the lyrics of Koji Tamaki's song Denen for comfort, Takakeisho had shouted encouragement to him from across the changing room. "Give this bout your all, because I will beat Tokushoryu." "I thought he'd help me get a playoff," Shodai explained. "So I beat Mitakeumi, get back to the changing room, watch Takakeisho's fight full of optimism, and then... Takakeisho laughingly confirmed this was so, saying, "I apologize to everyone for screwing up." Tokushoryu, in the pre-recorded interview, said he tried not to watch Shodai's bout on TV, but couldn't help glancing at the screen. However, confirmation of the need to beat Takakeisho in that final match only strengthened his focus. Junk Sports producers were clearly expecting a Shodai triumph that day, and sent crews to both his Tokitsukaze stable and his parents' local community hall in Kumamoto, where 200 people had gathered to watch the final day on TV. We saw images of Tokyo supporters howling on their floor cushions, and Kumamoto fans crying with disappointment, as well as interviews with Shodai's father, he did so well to get this far, and his paternal grandmother, Masayo, whose first name and surname have the same kanji characters. We saw 5 celebratory sea breams delivered in ice boxes to Tokitsukaze in preparation for a prospective Shodai win. The man himself said they were promptly converted into sliced sashimi in the next day's lunch when his tournament hopes disappeared. Tokushoryu, meanwhile, admitted he shed too many tears on the final day, but is pleasantly surprised to be finally asked for autographs at the restaurant he regularly visits for lunch. Perhaps this might be a good point to add his coach's viewpoint, captured at the Kisei stable party.
大関に勝って、決定戦があると思ってそのつもりで見ておりましたが、見事に勝ってくれまして、私は時津風親方とペアで職場が一緒で隣同士で決定戦をこいつと一緒にいるのかと思って、私は早めに帰りました。自分が大関横綱が勝ったよりこんなに弟子が優勝してこんな嬉しいことはもう私は明日死んでもいいという思いました。本当に。
The program's focus then switched to Enho, who repeated his assertion that his final day match with Shohozan in May 2019 proved a career turning point. Shohozan, surprisingly, not asked for comment. The little man recalled how he cried during the taxi ride home, and that when arriving at Miyagi-no stable, Hakuho hit him with the greeting, "So, now you know the top division is no breeze." After working with Enho closely over the following weeks, the Yokozuna then dropped his bombshell prior to the Nagoya meet. "You've been training so well, Enho," he reportedly said. "So well, in fact, that if you now get a losing score, I will retire." An astonished Enho responded by posting 9 wins last July and hasn't registered a losing score since. He spoke as if Hakuho meant what he said that day, but never explained why, on the day he finally achieved his crucial 8th win, Hakuho responded by blowing the title. The final segment focused on Takakeisho's roller coaster year since his last appearance on the show, including new photographs of the extent of his pectoral injury last September. We were introduced to Satoshi Okatake, the only sumo knee specialist in Japan, attached to Saitama Sakai, who helped Takakeisho overcome his first major injury last year. The Ozeki can now do squats with a 220-kilogram barbell. We have the footage to prove it. We also saw a coordinated response from Takakeisho and coach Chigano Ura to allegations that the injury caused a rift between them. I never dug my heels in about competing in Nagoya, Takakeisho claimed. I simply expressed my regret towards losing Ozeki without even competing for it. However, coach persuaded me I could win 10 bouts in September, and I accepted that. He took some persuading, was Chigano-Ura's summary, but when he finally agreed to drop out of Nagoya, I was so relieved I hugged him. The Ozeki also confessed to feeling broken when suffering the second injury to the pectoral, his state of mind not helped by being transported to hospital during Mitake Umi's championship interview. However, the inspiring lyrics of Tsuyoshi Nagabuchi reportedly helped pull him through. We also saw footage of Dai Eisho walking his dog, Chidoru. "He never told me he had one," said best friend Takakeisho. We saw photos of Kagayaki and the Takadagawa team on their annual trip to Universal Studios Japan in Osaka. We saw Toyonoshima enjoy karaoke with his wife and daughter, who have now convinced him to carry on in Division 3 next month. And we learned that the words of the Japanese reggae artist Peter Mann helped Tokushoryu overcome the death of university coach Katsuhito Ito last tournament. The show was then cut short because of figure skating. The second installment will be shown next Sunday. I will try to bring you a review.